Hey, this is Vinyl Keith coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to continue my AC/DC series in this video. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. There's a story to this though, okay? After AC/DC recorded High Voltage at Albert Production Studios and TNT also at Albert Production Studios, Atlantic came calling after, they were sent some music from those two albums, okay? Trying to sell the band. So Atlantic signed them to an international deal, okay? Now their albums would be released all over the world, not just Australia and New Zealand, whatever, okay? So, this story cracks me up. So AC/DC records Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, okay, and releases it in Australia and New Zealand on the 20th of September, 1976. I wish we would have got this cover, okay? But man, look at this. Isn't this cool? It says right there, Albert Productions. Just showing it real quick before I continue the story. Albert Productions. Alright. They presented Atlantic Records with this. Atlantic Records rejects it, saying the music's too gritty and Bon Scott's vocals are just too raw for American radio. What? I know. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, a lot of you probably heard this story, but still, it blows me away. How are you going to reject AC/DC with Bon Scott? What? But anyway, that's what happened. They rejected it. Was wanting to drop the band. I think they did drop the band, okay? And somebody talked them into re-signing him right away. It's just crazy to me that this gets rejected. This is such a great album, okay? And this is the Australian version, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, ain't no fun waiting around to be a millionaire. There's going to be some rockin', Problem Child. That's side one. Side two starts off with Squealer, then the hilarious Big Balls, R.I.P. Rock in Peace, Ride On, one of my all-time favorite songs from anybody. It's got to be in the top 10. And Jailbreak. What an album. And it got rejected by Atlantic. That tells you right there the Suits don't always know what the hell's going on, okay? So, anyway, that gets rejected. Atlantic drops them, re-signs them again right away, and they go on to record, Let There Be Rock and whatever. This sits in the vault for 5 years, okay? North America didn't get this for 5 years. But AC/DC was forced to, on their tours in the late 70s, to add a couple of songs, like Problem Child and Dirty Deeds, I guess, to their set list. Because they weren't playing it here in North America when they was touring in the 70s after, after recording this album. They just weren't playing the songs at all here because America doesn't know about them. But then sales started to go. Once Highway to Hell got released, that was like their big break, okay, in 1979. And then this started showing up in the import bins. Some of the import bins around North America in record stores, okay. I'm sure it was really expensive. So then they released Back in Black in 1980. And you know what happened? They become mega stars, okay? it's gone on to sell like 25 million copies just here in the United States. So off the success of Highway to Hell and Back in Black, they finally released Dirty Deeds. And we get this cover. I mean, the album's still great. There is a couple differences, in the track list. But I don't like the cover and never have. I think it's kind of stupid. We deserve that. Okay? We deserve that. What a great cover shot of this picture, whatever you want to call it. But we got this. Still a great album. And I remember when this came out in March. I guess it was March of 1981 here in North America. Then you started hearing Problem Child on the radio, like the AOR stations. And I was like, wow, that's Bon Scott singing. What the hell's going on? And then as time goes on, you find out the real story. And they were forced to release this finally here in North America. And guess what? It's outsold every album in their catalog, except for Back in Black and Highway to Hell. That's it. That's the only two that's outsold this. So like I said, the suits don't always know. Okay? Stupid. But then again, if it was released here in the States in 1976, I doubt the album sales would have been that high for a while. Because I don't think any of the albums sold here a lot until Highway to Hell and Back in Black came out in 79, 80. Then Interest in AC/DC was like, they became one of the biggest acts in the world. So, in retrospect, it might not have sold that many at the beginning if they would have released it here in 76. But anyway, that's the story of Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. And the difference, I will say the difference is, here in America on this, we got Love at First Feel and Rocker. And they took off. For some reason, they didn't release Jailbreak here. And R.I.P. I think that's the difference. Yeah. Yeah, that's the difference. But the track list is kind of jumbled too. Like, Ain't No Fun is on side 2 on our copy. And it's on side 1 on this copy. So there's a little bit of a difference. But they're both cool. You can't go wrong with either one. I like this better. Not only because this is how it was intended to be released. But it's got Jailbreak on it. We didn't get Jailbreak until 1984 on that EP 74 Jailbreak that I showed in the high voltage video I did. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? Same with Soul Stripper. That was on the EP. And I want to say Soul Stripper is another one of my all-time favorite Bon Scott era songs. Fantastic. If you've never heard it, listen to Soul Stripper. My gosh. But anyway, that's the story of AC/DC's Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. I'm going to do an Iron Maiden video next. I'm going to cover the Peace of Mind era. So that'll be coming too. Until next time.